Yo, what's up world? It's your boy Falochko here. You know that American dude with the incredible mood? That's me. And where am I right now? Right now I am reporting live from Kaliningrad. If you don't know Kaliningrad, it's a city that's in Russia. It's a part of Russia, but it's like away from Russia, okay? I know a lot of people who aren't Russian or who don't speak Russian. They don't really know much about Russia in general, so they definitely don't know where Kaliningrad is. But maybe you've once looked at a map and noticed that this little part of Europe just it's like a different color than the other parts. Well, that's because it's a part of Russia. It's been a part of Russia for a good amount of years, and to me it looks just like Europe. The people are a little different too, but it is still Russia. Trust me, okay? So that's where I am right now. I'm in Kaliningrad, which is kind of in between the water and Europe, all right? But what am I talking about this lesson? Well, this lesson, once again, it's not really a lesson. This is more of a me talking to you video. I'm going to do another video on comparing the differences between Russia and America. Yes, I'm going to do it one last time. I know I haven't made many English teaching videos lately, but I enjoy making these videos for not just Russians and Americans, but for other people, around the world who may be curious to go to America one day. Maybe they want to go to Russia one day. Maybe they want to study in one of these two countries. Well, you can watch these videos and you'll have a better understanding of not just one of the countries, you'll have a better understanding of both of the countries. Now here I am giving classes and I was immediately reminded of something. There's something I saw all the students using and it totally freaked me out. My American mind went crazy because we don't do this very often in America. But what is it they do here in Russia? Students do or use that we don't do or use a lot in America? Well, you see this paper up top? The paper up top is called graph paper. And the paper on the bottom is just regular, you know, horizontal lines paper, whatever. In America, we generally use this. When we're writing essays, when we're taking notes, we generally use this. In Russia, when they're taking notes or writing a story, whatever, they generally use up here, the graph paper. Now that's very strange for the American mind that I have, because the only time us Americans really use this graph paper is when we're doing mathematics and maybe some like graphs, you know. So you know what a graph is. I'll maybe put a little picture of a graph up here. But we use that when we're making graphs. We don't use that when we write essays. We don't use that when we write stories or something. No, we don't do that. We use this paper. But out here in Russia, using this paper here is extremely normal. Now, a lot of Russian people I spoke to, they're very used to using this for everything. When they don't use it, they feel weird. I would feel extremely weird writing an essay with this paper because I would think I have to like write one letter in each box or something. Like it's very strange for the American mind actually writing an essay on this. But in Russia, it's strange for the Russian mind writing an essay on this, I believe. I'm not 100% sure, but what I'm sure of is that this is strange for the average American to write on, and this might be strange for the average Russian to write on when it comes to stories and essays or whatever. But this one right here is very, very common in Russia for all subjects. Very strange, okay? So that's the first thing. Let's get to the second thing. And the second thing, oh my God. This is actually good for Russia. Russia, this is good. Because in Russia, you will probably never see anything like this.
You know this, you gonna swing, we gonna do it, you know bullshit.
I didn't get enough, fuck that shit.
Talk about yourself, bitch, you offer
And what were those? Those are video clips of women fighting in laundromats. What are laundromats? Laundromats are basically not just poor people. I think all people users of all, like anyone who's not rich basically has probably attended a laundromat before, especially if they live in a big city. Okay, now in Russia it's very common for you to have your own washing machine in your apartment. This is, no matter how rich you are, no matter how poor you are, it's very common to have a washing machine in your apartment because they do not have laundromats in Russia. I've never seen one. Yesterday, I thought I saw one. That's why I'm making this video. Yesterday, I thought I saw a laundromat, but it wasn't a laundromat. It was a place that sold washing machines. That's not a laundromat. So I was like, okay, I almost thought I saw something for the first time ever in Russia, but I didn't. So basically, laundromats in America, from what I remember, there's always angry people in there. The machines are usually broken. You always have to get quarters. That was kind of fun, you know. You put your dollar in the machine, you get a bunch of quarters and stuff, and you do your laundry with the quarters. Usually in America, the Asian people, not being racist, but in America, the Asian people usually run the laundromats. There's always Asian people who like own them and control them, and they help us out with our clothes and all that stuff. You know, they're really nice people. Growing up as a black American, you get to know Chinese people or Asian people in two ways. One, in the laundromat, and two, at the Chinese food restaurants. Like almost every black person in America, grew up in America, had a favorite Chinese restaurant and had a laundromat. And in both those places, they were Asian people. So that's interesting. So that's really it. In Russia, they have washing machines in their apartment. In America, we gotta take our asses all the way to the laundromat where there might be some big scary fight, but we gotta do it anyway, okay? So that's the second one. So let's get to the third and last one for today. This one is hard to explain. If I have my passport, I'll show you. But this one is basically, I'm gonna say, acquiring a visa. The difference between when you're a Russian acquiring a visa for America and when you're an American acquiring a visa for Russia. Now, keep in mind, everything I'm speaking about now is before the whole Ukraine crisis, before the whole sanctions and stuff. So things might be different now. But I'm talking about back when I got my visa, maybe 1 year ago. You know, I'm right now speaking about before the sanctions, okay? Maybe the Ukraine thing was going, but before the sanctions, because after the sanctions, some international relations between our countries changed, so things might be different now. So right now, I'm speaking about before the sanctions. Now, getting an American visa, it's difficult when you're a Russian. You know, they ask you questions about what are you doing there. You know, you gotta have, what do you want to do there? You have to know some English. It's good to have property in Russia to show that you're coming back to Russia. It's also good to be already married in Russia so they know you have a reason to come back to Russia. It's also good to still be going to the university in Russia so they know you have a reason to come back to Russia. So basically, when you're getting a visa, an American visa, when you're a Russian, they basically want to know that you're coming back. They need evidence to know that you're coming back because they don't want you to stay illegally in America. Now let's switch it the other way around. Now, when I went to get my visa to go to Russia, it was very different for me. First of all, when you're an American getting a Russian visa, you don't need to know any Russian. You don't need to know any Russian. They don't ask me anything in Russian. Anything you need to know, everything you need to know is in English. The papers they give you are in English. And do they ask you any questions? Sure, they ask you a few. They'll say, okay, why are you going to Russia? But not just a, why are you going to Russia? It's more like a, why are you going to Russia kind of thing. When I went to get my visa, I'll never forget, I went to, it was a travel agency. It's called Royalty Travels. 88 Maiden Lane in New York City. 88 Maiden Lane in Manhattan. It's called Royalty Travel. And when I first went there to get a visa to Russia, I was like, first of all, there was no one in the office. It was empty. So, you know, I walk in and I'm like, hey. I'm here to get a Russia to go to, I'm here to get a visa to go to Russia. Shiva, you want to go to Russia? So, basically in short, I'm saying, getting a visa for Russia when you're an American was much, and probably still is, much easier than it is being an American to get a visa to go to, being a Russian to get a visa to go to America, because one is more in demand than the other. There's way more Russians that go to America than Americans that go to Russia. And so the kind of question they ask me isn't to make sure that I will come back to America. They want to make sure that I'll come back to America alive. You know, so they're like, are you sure? Do you have friends? Do you think this is a good idea? So, you know, it's a very, very different thing. Like, I don't know any Americans who's ever been rejected when getting a Russian visa. Like, the thing you're worried about isn't rejection. Only thing you worry about, and they worry about when you're an American getting a Russian visa, is if you're going to be okay when you get to Russia. Especially when you're a black American. So, you know, they're very worried for me. But they're worried about me. But it's cool because I got 4 visas from these people. If there's any Americans out there who are watching this video and you want to get a visa to come to Russia, Royalty Travel, New York City, 88 Maiden Lane, they will take good care of you. They're very professional, and they got me 4 visas with no problem. And so that's basically it, people. That's the end of the episode for today. I hope you liked it, I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned new stuff. Be sure to add me, vk.com/Velochko. That's me, and subscribe to my YouTube page to see all my videos. And my Instagram is Velochko as well. And I hope I didn't offend anybody. You know, I'm just being real, you know. Americans don't have problems getting Russian visas, but Russians have problems getting American visas. Just how it is. I'm not trying to laugh at your country or something. I'm just saying how it is, right? And that's basically it, people. I'm out. Later. You know what the guy says at the end.
And don't be racist.
So don't be that is his catchphrase, that don't